Imagine a silent, misty town at dawn, leaves rustling, the river flowing gently. A funeral procession moves slowly through the narrow streets, mourners carrying white tuberoses, their faces solemn. The sound of distant temple bells. The river reflects the golden sunrise, its surface rippling as if whispering ancient secrets. Now, have you ever stood in a place where time seems to stand still, where the air carries the weight of generations, and every stone, every street holds a story? Today, we step into the world of Mamang Dai, a world where rivers have souls, where memories never fade, and where every ritual tells the story of time itself. Close your eyes, feel the silence, smell the scent of tuberoses in the air, a fragrance of remembrance, of farewells. A river flows nearby, not just carrying water, but carrying stories, carrying loss, carrying time. This is where our journey begins. But first, let us know the poet behind this story, Mamang Dai. Imagine black and white photographs of Mamang Dai, landscapes of Arunachal Pradesh, rolling hills, winding rivers, tribal rituals taking place under the shade of ancient trees, a time lapse of a river flowing through seasons, lush monsoon, golden autumn, frozen winter, rebirth in spring. Now, before we decode this poem, we must understand the women who wrote it. Mamang Dai is more than a poet. She is a storyteller, a bridge between past and present. Hailing from Arunachal Pradesh, she grew up in a land where rivers are not just rivers, they are sacred, where mountains do not just stand, they watch over the people, keepers of old wisdom. She belongs to the Adi tribe, where stories are not written, they are sung. The river, the rituals, the silence of small towns, these are not metaphors for her. They are reality of her world. She writes of time not as something that moves forward, but something that lingers, of memory not as something that fades, but something that lives on in the land, in the air, in the water. And today, we step into her words, not just to read them, but to feel them. I have some questions for you. Have you ever been to a place that felt like it was frozen in time? A place where the past still breathes? I want you to ponder over these questions and put your answers in the comment section, and we move on to stanza number 1, which is all about the timelessness of small towns. Now, put your imaginative caps on. Imagine a narrow street in a small town, houses with wooden windows, unchanged by time, a time lapse of the same streets in different seasons. Summer's dust, monsoon's wet pathways, autumn's golden leaves, winter's stark emptiness, a dust storm sweeping through an abandoned road, then fading into stillness. If you have already imagined this, it's time for us to read through the first stanza. It goes like this. Small towns always remind me of death. My hometown lies calmly amidst the trees. It is always the same, in the summer or winter, with the dust flying or the wind howling down the gorge. Why do small towns remind her of death? Because here, time does not move forward, it lingers. In cities, life rushes ahead. New buildings, new faces, new stories. But in small town, nothing changes. The same door opens and closes. The same roads stretch into horizon. The same dust rises and falls, as if caught in an endless cycle. The dust is the past. The wind is the echo of all that has come before. And the town remains, watching, waiting. Now think about your own hometown. Has it changed? Or does it always look the same when you returned after years? Let's move on to stanza number 2, which is all about death, silence, and rituals. Imagine a slow funeral procession moving through a narrow street. People dressed in white, heads bowed. A close-up of hands placing tuberoses on a grave. A candle flickering in the wind, struggling to stay alight before surrendering to the darkness. Now, just the other day, someone died. In the dreadful silence, we wept, looking at the sad wreath of tuberoses. Life and death, life and death. Only the rituals are permanent. Now, these are the lines of stanza number 2. Let's understand the meaning. Silence is not empty, it is full. Full of grief, full of memory, full of things left unsaid. The tuberoses, white, delicate, their fragrance lingering long after they have withered, are not just flowers, they are reminders. They mark a passage, a farewell, a ritual that has been repeated for generations. Because only the rituals are permanent. People come and go. Generations fade. But prayers remain. The mourning remains. The silence remains. Have you ever attended a funeral that stayed with you forever? What do rituals mean to you? I want you to ponder over these questions, come up with the best answer, and put them in the comment section, and we will have some nice discussion over it. Moving on to the next section, which is all about a river having a soul, a journey through time. Again, close your eyes and imagine whatever I say. Imagine a river surging through the valley in summer, craving through rock like grief. Then a river in winter, still and misty, reflecting the stars. Raindrops falling into the river, merging into its endless current, symbolizing memory and time. If you've already imagined this, focus on the lines, which goes something like, the river has a soul. In the summer, it cuts through the land like a torrent of grief. Sometimes I think it holds its breath, seeking a land of fish and stars. The river is alive. It moves with sorrow, craves its grief into the land, but then sometimes it waits. For what? For the land of fish and stars. A place beyond, a place where water meets the sky, where the past dissolves into light, where memories become constellations. Now, reflect upon this question. If water never truly disappears, do we? I'll repeat that again. If water never truly disappears, do we? Think about this question and put all your interesting answers in the comment section, and I would love to read them. Next section is all about the final revelation, which is walking with the gods. Again, close your eyes and imagine what I am saying. Imagine a golden sunrise over a river, the town bathed in early light. A lone figure walking along the riverbank, stepping into eternity. Now let's read through the line. In small towns by the river, we all want to walk with the gods. And in the end, that is all we seek, to walk beyond, to step into eternity. Final question to you. What does it mean for you to walk with the gods? Comment your answers below. Again, put your imaginative caps on, close your eyes, and imagine whatever I say. Imagine the river stretching endlessly into the horizon, dissolving into the sky. The sun sets and the stars begin to appear, their reflections dancing on water. Soft ripples, gentle breeze, the quiet hum of nature. You can open your eyes now. And so, the river flows beyond the town, beyond the hills, beyond the reach of time. It does not stop. It does not fade. Just like the stories whispered on its banks, just like the echoes of footsteps once heard in these streets. The rivers remember, and so do we. This poem is not just about a town, it's about us, our past, our memories, our longing for something greater, for something eternal, for a place beyond the horizon where sun meets the water and soul meets the sky. So tell me, where does your river lead? My dear friends, viewers, and students, drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's turn into a river of voices flowing together, carrying the weight of time, memory, and the search for something greater. If this poem touched you, share this video with your friends. Let's bring poetry back to life. One story, one voice, one river at a time. Subscribe for more poetic journeys and literary deep dives. Let's keep the conversation flowing. I thank you and I hope you have a beautiful day ahead.